The Backrooms, The Last Frontier, Level 159, Beastland, Survival Difficulty, Class 3, Unsafe, Unsecure, Medium Entity Count. Level 159 is the 160th level of the Backrooms. Image caption: one of several roads located in the outskirts of level 159. Description: Level 159 is a large, American-styled town, measuring an estimated 3,000 square kilometers in size. Building designs within the level vary, though the majority seem to share heavy resemblance to 80s to 90s American infrastructure. Other than its buildings, Level 159 is composed of primarily flat terrain and patches of miscellaneous trees and shrubbery, all dead. Additionally, Level 159 often demonstrates low temperatures and extreme weather. Snowstorms are exceedingly common in Level 159, which results in most surfaces being snow-covered at almost all times. Any efforts to remove snow are usually fruitless, as the near-constant snowfall results in any open spaces quickly getting covered again. Despite the continual snowfall received, surfaces in Level 159 never seem to have coatings of snow deeper than 4 centimeters. Level 159's climate is extremely unpredictable, and almost everything about it can change on a dime, though usually not to an extreme degree. Temperatures fluctuate at random intervals, but it never seems to rise above 0 degrees Celsius or fall below -19 degrees Celsius. Level 159 also seems to have an extremely erratic weather pattern that goes from extremely cloudy to super clear in a matter of minutes. The presence of clouds does not seem to have any correlation to the snowfall of the level. Entities native to the level appear to suffer no ill, as would be expected. The temperature within all undamaged buildings stays consistently 10 degrees Celsius warmer than exterior temperatures. Weather and large temperature changes outside buildings seem to be level-wide and affect all of Level 159. Entities found within Level 159 include hounds, smilers, both male and female death moths, and an extremely wide plethora of entities unique to this level. Entities native to Level 159 greatly vary in a myriad of ways, which can even include sentience. Most sentient entities seem to display levels of intelligence and emotion normally seen within humans. Much like humans, they also have demonstrated the ability to exit through via the same methods often used by wanderers. Most entities don't solely fit in a single category. So, a list has been created below the description in order to help you distinguish the types of entities you may encounter. Most entities are capable of fitting inside multiple types within the list. Level 159 is also home to a vast array of unique locations and environments, most of which are immune to the extreme cold of the rest of the level, maintaining a temperature above 0 degrees Celsius. It is advised you enter all these locations with extreme caution and avoid them if possible, as most of these locations contain threatening substances and/or dangerous entities, though there are a few exceptions. More information on these locations has been provided below the Entity Types list. Entity Types. List of Entity Types. Humanoid Entities. Humanoid entities are the rarest physical type of entity found within Level 159, making up under 10% of all entities encountered within the level thus far. Most humanoid entities seem to have their strengths and weaknesses shared with humans, and, in many cases, also seem to have similar niche traits such as opposable thumbs or the ability to walk bipedally. Humanoid entities usually also fall under the category of neutral entities, though actively malicious humanoid entities have been encountered on several occasions and should be treated with a degree of caution. Semi-humanoid entities. Semi-humanoid entities are entities with proportions heavily deriving from both humans and animals alike. Semi-humanoid entities seem to come in many varieties, most commonly with a humanoid upper half and a more animalistic lower half. Most entities with humanoid upper halves seem capable of human speech to some degree, but many are also completely incapable of speaking, which seem to communicate with wanderers and other sapient entities via writing. Semi-humanoid entities with animalistic upper halves and humanoid lower halves have been encountered, though they seem to fail at long-term survival due to their extremely unbalanced proportions, clumsiness, inability to speak, and inability to use tools effectively. Non-humanoid entities. Non-humanoid entities are entities with little to no humanoid features, and are also the most common type of entity found within level 159, making up as much as 65% of its estimated entity population. The strengths and lives of non-humanoid entities scale heavily depending on their stature, intelligence, and behavior. Barely any non-humanoid entities seen have been capable of human speech or direct communication with humans of any kind. Non-humanoid entities are often just as dangerous as those found outside level 159. If you encounter a non-humanoid entity, the best track of action is to back away in order to avoid confrontation. Neutral/passive unless threatened. Neutral entities are entities that seem to be passive unless threatened or harmed. Sentient neutral entities seem to survive via more careful and methodic means than their non-sentient counterparts, taking up roles in small groups as scavengers or hunters. Sentient neutral entities seem capable of working alongside other wanderers and also demonstrate the ability to form bonds with each other. It is advised to respect sentient neutral entities as you would respect another human, as failing to do so could heavily damage the trust that they potentially hold with you and other wanderers. Other neutral entities that seem to lack sentience often survive by feasting on the remains of dead entities, or on scraps left behind by wanderers, and generally tend to avoid confrontation at any cost. Actively malicious entities, AMEs. Actively malicious entities, or AMEs, are entities that will actively seek out and attack wanderers through either psychological or physical means. AMEs are relatively difficult to identify outside of a direct confrontation or without given signs. Signs often include bloodstains, extremely erratic behavior, and extremely loud screeches/grunts. Some AMEs seem to mimic human speech in order to attract gullible or overly curious wanderers, often leading them to their demise. Though AMEs capable of mimicking human speech are rare, they are still common enough to be a threat. AMEs seem to attack practically any living thing they encounter, which means that when two AMEs encounter each other, it almost always results in a fight to the death. Due to this extreme aggression, AMEs are completely incapable of coordinating attacks against settlements and groups. Empowered entities. Empowered entities are entities with mild to moderate supernatural abilities, which don't seem to correlate with their biology in any shape or form. Empowered entities usually have some sort of grasp of control over their supernatural powers, although there are many instances where this is not the case. Most empowered entities tend to have some sort of drawback or weakness, all of which vary heavily in severity, some of which even seem to nullify their abilities for a brief time. Empowered AMEs are extremely dangerous and should be avoided at all costs. as they have the strongest control over their abilities out of any type of empowered entity. Entities within this category can fall under any other category alongside it. Unique environments and locations. List of unique environments/locations within level 159. Gas stations. Image caption. A gas station found in one of level 159's more empty sections. All gas stations found within level 159 have been host to several hostile and dangerous entities upon their discovery, more often than not leading to the deaths of several wanderers. White flags are currently being used as a marker for safe and/or cleared out gas stations. Due to this, we heavily advise against entering any gas stations without a white flag in front of them, unless you've taken the necessary precautions. All gas stations encountered and reported to the Meg have had shelves seemingly full of food and drinks similar to that often provided at gas stations in the front rooms. Empty shelves seem to regenerate products at random intervals. The only gas station under Meg jurisdiction currently functions as a base camp for all operations within the level. The playgrounds. Several playgrounds, identical to those found in the front rooms, are sparsely scattered across level 159 in seemingly bizarre spots, such as on top of a building roof or on a road's intersection. The floors of these playgrounds are covered in sand and wood chip, making it very hard to traverse without any form of footwear. Though snacks and small water bottles occasionally appear on benches and tables, the rate at which this happens is way too slow to be a reliable food source. Maintain a small level of caution well within playgrounds. Hostile entities are still able to enter playgrounds, and non-hostile/sapient entities often use them as waypoints. The temperature within these playgrounds consistently stay at exactly 5 degrees Celsius. Snow immediately melts once it touches the floor of any playground, though the reason for this is unknown. The Creation Pits. Creation Pits, here on out known as the Pits, are large concrete bunkers with several cylindrical holes in their roofs, found throughout the emptier sections of level 159. The pits are full of advanced technology of unknown origins, the most important of which includes mechanical fluid tanks, which currently hold several unique entities in stasis, and computers which seem to randomly generate the anatomy, biology, and abilities of said entities. The way these computers create entities is unknown, but it is certain that the pits are where the unique entities of level 159 are created. Upon an entity's full development, the pod it is contained in is then launched and soon after crashes down into a random spot within level 159. Skeletal remains of varying primates have been found scattered throughout, as well as several skeletons of unknown species, which are presumably from the entities native to level 159. In the case you run into any remains resembling a primate skeleton, it is advised that you report its location to the nearest Meg outpost for further studies. The Forgotten Mall. The Forgotten Mall is a large, decrepit shopping mall taking up an estimated 2 square kilometers in width and 0.05 kilometers in height. The internal temperature of the mall permanently sits at 18 degrees Celsius and seems to be completely stagnant, making it impossible to light fires or use cooking appliances within the building. Despite the mall's massive size, it seems to be mainly composed of off-brand versions of stores usually seen within the front rooms, and several empty for-sale rooms. There are often other shops encountered that don't fit into these two niches, all of which heavily vary in purpose. These shops sell random products, varying from empty bottles to seemingly ancient weapons and tools of unknown origin. Each item within the mall contains a price tag with a list of junk written on it. If you manage to find all of the items listed on the tag and bring it to one of the several cash registers located throughout the mall, you'll be able to leave the mall with what you paid for. If you don't pay for the item with the proper items, or bother paying at all, the item will immediately disintegrate upon exiting the mall. The Plaque of Creation. The Plaque of Creation is a seemingly indestructible gold plaque located inside Vandiria with a single quote etched into it, which reads as follows, quote, "We've made a magnificent discovery, but also have created a mind so horrifying, so powerful, that it could best the brightest we had to offer. As fate may also have it, we are likely dead. Though the ones left behind, I have but one thing left to say. Please don't fly too close to the sun." End quote. It is heavily discouraged to attempt to damage the Plaque of Creation, as doing so will only wear down your tools and likely cause confusion among local residents. Bases, outposts, and communities. Meg Outpost, Frozen City. Frozen City is a medium-sized Meg outpost, constantly staffed and maintained by 3 Meg employees and several volunteers. Similar to most other cleared-out gas stations, food and drinks stocked on the shelves of this outpost seem to regenerate at random, making it one of the few semi-reliable sources of food within the level. Food and drinks are equally distributed to all staff in the outpost. Due to the easy access of food and water, Frozen City seems to be one of the most popular stops for wanderers within the level. Vandiria. Vandiria is a small rustic settlement with a population of 368 wanderers and entities. Entities make over 2/3 of Vandiria's population. Other than its front and back entrances, Vandiria is entirely walled off from the rest of level 159 as a safety precaution against AMEs. Vandiria barely has any sort of government, as their population is too small for it to be deemed necessary. All decisions made within are decided by a community vote taken by long-term residents. The meaning behind Vandiria's name is unknown. Entrances and exits. Entrances. Opening any ice-coated metal door within Level 1, Habitable Zone, or Level 4, Abandoned Office, will take you directly into Level 159. Going on a tram bound for Terminal C within Level 36, Airport, will take you to a small abandoned airport within Level 159. Attempting to enter a shopping mall in Level 11, the Endless City, has a slim chance of teleporting you to the Forgotten Mall. Exits. Upon entering any donut shop, you will be taken to Level 11, the Endless City. Upon entering an arcade building with a Roller Rockin' Pizza above its entrance, you will be taken to Level 40, Roller Rockin' Pizza. Walking back through the door you entered through within 10 seconds will return you to your previous level. Attempting to re-enter after this period will result in the door slamming shut. Entering a manhole inside Level 159 will take you to Level 34, Sewer System.